from Haunted Crap from Mystic Treasure Finds. This is their little puppet book. Excuse me. Old MacDonald had a farm. See? Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Mm-hmm. And on that farm he had some cows. E-I-E-I-O. With the moo moo here, moo moo there. Here a moo, there a moo. Everywhere a moo moo. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Okay. Now, we got one more story tonight. Okay? It's a short story. And I'll hold Coco and baby Chelsea. Okay? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to get the book because I don't need the laptop. Here we go. It's a continuation of the last two books. Oh, this one is called Back on Earth. Thanks to the effort of Wally, Eve, and some other robots, humans had finally returned to Earth. The people had been living on a luxury spaceship for generations, and the captain wanted to help the passengers and robots adjust to living on Earth. He was sure they could make Earth their home once again if they worked together. Wally was happy to be back on Earth, and even happier to be with his new friends. He spent his day cleaning up the planet, one piece of trash at a time. At night, he loved watching his favorite movies with his robot friend, Eve. Although Eve liked spending time with Wally, she was having a hard time filling her days on Earth. Her original directive had been to scan Earth for any signs of plant life, and she found it. Completing her directions had brought the humans back to Earth. But now Eve didn't know exactly what to do. She continued scanning, though she didn't need to do it. Plant life was growing everywhere. The captain noticed that Eve was scanning objects aimlessly. He thought she needed a new purpose. But what could it be? I want everyone to feel at home on Earth. Can you help me, Eve? Find a new directive? He whispered to Wally. Wally beeped in agreement. He would do anything to make Eve happy. Living on Earth, he quickly rolled home to make a plan. It took Wally a few days, but he came up with a wonderful idea. He would give Eve her own garden. Eve knew all about plant life. and how to find it. Now she could use her knowledge to make the plant grow. Wally had the perfect spot in mind for the garden, but it would take plenty of work to make it ready for plants. He asked all the robot friends to help. Isn't that pretty? Wally and his friends began to clear a patch of land. They worked hard, pulling the rocks and roots and trash from the ground. Wally compacted everything into small cubes, and stacked them around patch of land to build a fence. Soon the soil was ready. Wally gathered some gardening tools, seeds, and bulbs. Everything was set for Eve to plant, whether she wished, but was she willing to try something? Wally and the other robots couldn't wait for Eve to see what they had prepared for her. After Eve arrived, Wally showed her the patch. When Eve realized it would be her job to plant the patch and help the garden grow, she was thrilled. She started planning right away and even assigned jobs to make some of her friends. Mhm. See? Mm. Eve directed Wally to drill holes in a large patch of dirt. Then she gave Vakul some seeds. The robot followed Wally down the rows, sneezing seeds right into the holes that Wally had made. Eve planted some flowers and vegetables in a corner of gardens from her scamming. She knew these plants needed more shade than others. She also knew exactly which robots could help. She asked Brula to open his canopy and shade the plant as they grew. Eve thought the garden was beautiful, but she had an idea to make it even prettier. She asked V and Go to paint the fence. Even if the robot splashed paint everywhere, it still made the compacted trash look colorful. As the garden began to produce fruits and vegetables, Eve wanted to share them with the humans. She asked Emo to help her clean them up. Emo was delighted, foreign contentment, and the robot exclaimed as he cleaned the products. Eve was very proud of the garden. People passed by it every day, admiring it. The captain was happy that Eve enjoyed her new job. Managing a garden was perfect for the robot, but as he watched her work, he noticed how often she had to fly back and forth to get water for her garden. Eve called the captain. I have an idea for your garden. What if you dug a well? Then you wouldn't have to fly back and forth so much to fill your watering can. What do you think? Eve loved the idea. In a flash, the robot was spinning around, drilling holes deep in the ground until she reached fresh, clear water. Wally and the captain helped her build the well. Soon she was pulling up buckets of water for her garden. Eve was finally happy to be back on Earth. She had a new directive, and she was very proud of her growing garden. Wally, the robot, beeped happily as she sent her friends a little electric jolt. There was no place on Earth that she would rather be than the garden, and no other robot that she would want to be friends with than Wally. Okay, cool. Wally and the other robots used trash to make a wall around the garden. For Eve, try using an item from your recycling bin to grow something. What you need is newspaper, ruler marker, clear 2 liter bottles with the cap cleaned and labeled, scissors and clear tape, small stones and a gravel, a spoon, activated charcoal, optional, potting soil, and spray bottle filled with water. Interesting. What you do: cover the work surface with newspaper, measure and mark several spots around the bottle, about 6 inches from the bottom. Ask an adult to cut the bottles into 2 pieces. Using the spots as a guard, cover the sharp edges with tape. Set the top aside, cut 2-inch slits. We'll have to try this one of these days. Of the bottom parts of the bottle. Gently place 1-inch layer of the stone or gravel in the bottom of the bottle. Spoon a 1/2-inch layer activated charcoal into the bottle above the stones. It's optional. Add 3 layers of soil on top of the stones or charcoal. Bury seeds on the roots of the seedlings near the top of the soil. Gently press down the soil and mist it with water. Carefully squeeze the cut edge of the bottom of the slip and top section of the bottle over it. Place your little garden in a sunny spot, while the top will help keep some moisture inside the bottle. Add water when the soil gets dry, then watch your garden grow. That's pretty cool, huh? All right, that's it. The end. And tomorrow I'll read The Dragon Boat Race. All right, with Mulan. So good night and sweet dreams. Take care and God be with. And thank you for watching. Good night.